Retiming physics, oddities of existence. As it is wrong, despite appearances, to claim the earth is flat, so it is not helpful to talk of temperature changes as heat. An example of how talking about global warming distracts from the organic changes in vibration or frequency of the atoms. This is readily understood if one recalls how microwave heating involves vibrating the molecules of the food in a radar oven. If one wants to be more at one with the universe, one needs to view heat as a vibration or a frequency. As the vibrations or molecular friction increases in frequency, one could primitively, provincially, or Ptolemaically say heat has increased. The direness of global warming is understated because it is stated in soothing terms. For example, global warming and carbon footprints instead of global dying and carbon sins. The lower the angle or precision of a TM, the higher the frequency and energy. The energy in a balanced versus a wobbly spin can be seen in the distance traveled by a balanced or imbalanced wheel falling off of a car. The latter will stop while the former keeps going. It is like the difference between a steam turbine engine and a steam cylinder engine. As the latter loses energy each time it reverses direction, so does a wobbly wheel waste energy each time it precesses back and forth. A keystone of quantum mechanics is Planck's research on black body radiation, as summarized in his energy equation E equals hf. As frequency increases, energy and heat increases, which shows the self-similarity or unity of the two. Within spin-barism, this unity is associated with the angle or precession rate of the TM. The lower the angle, the faster the precession, which is both a higher frequency and higher temperature. Heat and A/P frequency becomes clearer in the timistic retiming of fission and fusion, wherein the matter creates self-associating low energy, high A/P TMs and high energy, low A/P TMs, sort of like throwing a bomb or bowl into a crowd where some drop dead and others move more rapidly. One of the measurements of atomic behavior is spectroscopy, which shows the frequency of the particles. Interestingly, particles show a dual line. The dual line is due to measuring the spinning TM coming and going with a Doppler effect, like the sound of train coming, higher, and going, lower. This Doppler shift is present in astronomical measurements of distant objects with a red shift for objects receding, lower frequency, and a blue shift for approaching objects, higher frequency. At one time, the universe was viewed as having an invisible gas or ether that kept everything organized. Experiments in the 1800s rejected the existence of an ether as a glue that held everything together. In recent years, the concept of an ether has returned in the form of a theorized Higgs ocean. Spin-barism is based on a variation of Higgs ocean. That is, the shared common properties of the TMs acts like a unified field or ether that self-modulates the members of the ocean. Higgs ocean consisting of TMs appears to be an analog rather than a digitized phenomenon. A parallel is how the film of a movie consists of about 32 frames for each second of projection. Because the human eye cannot detect changes faster than 1/16th of a second, these individual frames appear to be a continual motion. In Higgs ocean, because the probabilities of TM interactions being consistent and self-modulating, the resulting aggregations or Pauli multis appear to be continual, like a motion picture when they are in fact distinct, digital, individual TMs. It is like a column of dirty, defeated POWs that from a distance seem to be a monstrous bug crawling on the earth. Within Higgs ocean, patterns develop that are what we call entities, such as atoms, molecules, bodies, families, and nations. These patterns often cause reactions or eddies within the Higgs ocean, which are the basis of the fundamental forces. It is like a person yelling fire in a crowded space. One of the tenets of relativity is that as things speed up, not only will time slow down, contract, but so will physical object. This is Lorentz contraction. Have you ever rode a motorcycle without a face mask and felt the wind press your skin into your skull, that is, contract your skin? Do you think your metabolism speeds up or slows down when you compress your body mass? Likewise with objects traveling through Higgs ocean, the increased contract with other TMs induces a blue shift higher frequency, which slows down multis being compressed or contracted. Thus objects undergo the Lorentz contraction. With higher speeds, the metabolism of existence, time, slows down as stability increases. Higher speeds does contract time and space for simple Newtonian reasons, not because of some mythical archaic concept of time and space causing warps. Warping time and space. Einstein was right about the phenomenon, but the reasons why are wrong, for which physicists have paid an ongoing theoretical price and taxpayers have suffered some massive experimental cost. Based on spinbarism, gravity is the primary basic force because it is the primary basic precession angle/frequency upon which all other frequencies are superimposed, like the amplitude modulation of AM radio. In TMs aggregating together in ever larger gatherings, their basic frequency slows down like the escape velocity of convicts in chains. As a phenomenon that is no different than the other three basic forces, gravity shares certain characteristics, one of which accounts for why Earth has 2 daily tides. If gravity were merely a force of attraction, why is there a tide on the opposite side of the moon? Why does the Earth look like a squash kumquat rather than an egg? The interaction of the moon's primary gravitational frequency/angle imparts a lower frequency that slices through the Earth. This line of sight affects an alteration in TM's frequency, the closest side and the opposite side. It is like the Earth's magnetic field, only induced rather than produced, near horizontal rather than near vertical. One can see this bidirectional, opposite side induced fields from inducing a magnetic field on a sphere from a sphere. Remember, 1. The speed of light is rotational, not linear. 2. The angle/precession rates of the spinning TM can account for all basic forces using the same Newtonian mechanics. The principle of distance inversely squared applies TMs not in line of sight. As the frequency is less and less affected, they are pushing the affected TMs together, which causes the oval bulge of 2 tides per day. Gravity is not a force of attraction, that is, merely pull, top. Rather, gravity is a pull-push, bottom. Like the illusions of the Earth being flat and propeller planes pushing, actually it pulls. Gravity's seemingly pulling force is an illusion. Per the standard model of physics, nuclear fission is the splitting of a heavy atom with a massive release of energy, and thermonuclear fusion is the merging of 2 hydrogen atoms to form a helium atom with a massive release of energy. Seems contradictory. Per the simple model of timism, an atom's nucleus consists of TMs spinning together because of shared angle/precession rates. When an atom is split or joined, the resulting single or duet has TMs that are released at a reduced angle/precession, higher frequency/energy/heat. These high-freq TMs can, if sufficient in number, split or join other atoms, depending on which is present. Fission is like dropping a mad bull in a crowd, with some people slowing down from dropping dead, while previous placid crowd members become mad, high-energy sprinters, knocking down other crowd members. Fusion is two placid youngsters marrying and birthing a mad little devil to pain the rest of the world. According to the standard model, most of the matter needed to explain galaxy formation from gravitational coupling is missing. If one understands how measurable mass comes into being from unmeasurable TMs, one does not see anything missing. It is like the vintner who protests, "Where is the missing wine?" when the grapes have not yet fermented. The missing matter is also known as the Yang-Mills paradox. The proton has a measurable mass that is almost 100 times greater than the combined mass of its three quarks components. This is truly wine out of water. It is like 10 pennies suddenly becoming $10. There is no missing matter. Rather, it is like the difference between a single and couples who can or cannot have babies. Rather, it is like couples who prefer to socialize with couples rather than singles. Rather, it is like single TMs cannot relate to or affect the stability of paired TMs from which physicists make their measuring devices. Paired TMs are examples of how the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. A new level of stability or time comes into existence when TMs associate together in lasting matrimony. The primary marriage of TMs is gravity or mass. Failure to appreciate the qualitative differences between single and associated TMs introduces a lot of silly theoretical wants and a lot of sad tax waste. For instance, if one does not understand the four basic forces or perspectives of one phenomenon, then one must postulate angels, archangels, and anti-angels as distinct entities of existence. For instance, the postulated pure energy from matter/antimatter necessitated from the missing mass is pure baloney. There is no missing mass. There is no antimatter. Rather, there is a measurable composed of the immeasurable. TMs flaunt the habeas corpus of science, produce and reproduce the body of research by virtue of the Heisenberg principle of uncertainty. As the smallest things in existence, one cannot define them by using something smaller to find them. Big Bang creation of equal amounts of matter and antimatter is bogus, since mass is created by TMs gravitating together, like gravel separating out from the vibrations of a miner's panning for gold. When Richard Nixon's press secretary was confronted with an obvious lie from a previous news conference, he responded, "That statement is no longer operative." For retiming physics, many are the basic theoretical concepts underlying both relativity and quantum physics that are self-lies. For physics, particularly particulist, most terms and concepts are no longer operative as paths of discovery. They are inherently dead-end alleys. They are good for detailing and measuring, like the size of a wife's bikini being a milepost marker, but not useful as a roadmap for marital success. As to what the inoperatives are, a simple statement suffices. Individuals define before committees refine. Are we off to see the wizard? Remember, the speed of light is rotational, not linear.